part 1 of the 2-part series, Inner Earth and Nature Kingdoms, interview with Diane Robbins. For over 25 years, well-known American telepathic communicator and author Diane Robbins has been in contact with the civilizations of Inner Earth and Earth's elemental and nature kingdoms. Her transmissions connect us to beings in advanced civilizations, whale and dolphin peoples, the trees, the crystals, and the elementals. Today, we are honored to have Diane Robbins with us to speak about her books. Diane tells us about the special place where she lives, Mount Shasta in California, USA.
So people from all over the world come here to Mount Shasta. It's a very sacred mountain, and it carries the energy of the mother's love. And the mountain herself is a living cathedral. She's a sanctuary. The mountain knows everyone who is coming up the mountain. She knows your name. She knows where you're from. She knows what's in your heart. And inside the mountain is a subterranean city. And the city is called Telos. Telos means communication with spirit.
Telos is one of multiple advanced cities within Hollow Earth.
Let me give you a little description of the Hollow Earth. If you're standing where we are right now on the top of the surface of the Earth, the crust of the Earth goes down 800 miles. And after 800 miles, there's a complete opening, and it's 6,000 miles in diameter. And in the center of that is an inner central sun. There's oceans and mountains still in their pristine state inside the hollow Earth. All planets are hollow with openings at the north and south poles. And our north and south pole has cloud covers. And the people inside have put an electromagnetic force field around the openings so airplanes cannot get in. Admiral Byrd was invited in and brought back that information to our governments. And Admiral Byrd had a meeting with the people inside the hollow Earth. They told him to tell our governments to stop setting off bombs and nuclear weapons. But the governments, of course, did not listen.
Diane Robbins now shares how she began communicating with Adama, the high priest and an ascended master of the city of Telos.
He contacted me about 1985 or 86. One morning I felt this wonderful energy nearly lift me off my chair. And I heard the words, "I am Adama. We've been trying to contact you. Will you take our messages?" And I said, "Yes, of course." So he gave me the first message, and I wrote it word for word. I never changed a word. I only put in punctuation and paragraphs. I never edited anything that an ascended master has dictated to me, because each sentence carries the vibration of the ascended master. And that when you read each sentence, they will know it's you reading it. You will be able to connect with the ascended master vibrationally.
In the book Messages from the Hollow Earth, Diane shares what one of the ascended masters explained to her about interconnectedness.
All life is interconnected, and people on the surface are now waking up to this realization of this interconnectedness. And the people in the hollow earth, they base their lives on the connection to all life, all kingdoms on earth, because this connection is also our connection to God. Once we each realize that we're connected to all life, the trees, the water, the elemental kingdom, then we are automatically reconnected to God, because God is the source of all that is. And it's this connection to all life that will evolve our soul and move us into our ascension. This is now the seventh golden age. It started in September 2012. There were 6 golden ages before this over millions of years, and they all failed because people could not make their connection back to God. This is the 7th and last golden age that our spiritual hierarchy is giving us to awaken and make our connection back to God. Awakening means people are starting to ask the questions, who am I? Why am I here? What did I come here to do? That means you're waking up. You're ready to connect to the divine source. And I'm sure you heard of the ascended masters. Well, everyone knows of Jesus. He's an ascended master. Saint Germain, Archangel Michael. Adama is an ascended master inside Telos. It's the last golden age we've been given. We only have 10,000 years left on this planet. The people on this planet have been here 14.5 million years and have not been able to create peace. This planet is ascending, with or without us, because our whole solar system has been waiting for us. Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, all those planets in our solar system, all the people are ascended on those planets. They're waiting for Earth.
Vegan leader, leading with true compassion.
Conscientious viewers, let's take a few moments to contemplate on the divine within. We'll be right back, here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Inner Earth and Nature Kingdoms, interview with Diane Robbins, part 1 of 2. The book Telos tells how Hollow Earth people gained their peace and immortality through their way of living.
The people in Telos used to live on the continent of Lemuria in the Pacific Ocean. There was a war between Atlantis and Lemuria, and there was a thermonuclear war. The people in Atlantis misused crystals, and they coupled them with electromagnetic energy, and they blew up Atlantis and they blew up Lemuria. Both continents now sit at the bottom of the oceans, and they're both hermetically sealed. When there's peace on the planet, our spiritual hierarchy will bring them back up to the surface. So when Lemuria was about to sink, the people in Telos asked our spiritual hierarchy if they could go into the cavern. There was a hollowed-out cavern inside the mountain of Mount Shasta. And so they took all their records, technology, all their high priests, scientists, brought all their things into the cavern inside of Mount Shasta, knowing that their continent was about to sink. And they had hoped to save 1 million people, but only 12,000 people were able to escape in time. For the last 12,000 years, they've been living inside the mountain in peace, and they've been able to gain their immortality. You can only gain your immortality if you are living in peaceful conditions. That's why they don't come out. That's why they don't allow us inside. In our consciousness, we have thoughts of sickness, aging, and death. Those are not in their consciousness. If something is not in your consciousness, you cannot outpicture it in your body. And that's why they cannot come out until there's peace on the surface. Another reason why our governments keep us in constant wars, so that we can't find out who we are. We have to have peace to find out who we are. That's the most important thing. There's Mikos. He's the head librarian of the Library of Porthalikos, located inside the very center of the hollow earth. And he describes it in my book, Messages from the Hollow Earth. It's a paradise. They never cut down trees, and they would never kill an animal. And their trees are hundreds of thousands of years old. And the Library of Porthalagos is a portal. It's the only library of its kind in our whole universe, and it's right here on Earth. And this tells us why beings from other star systems have tried to conquer the Earth and have come here and caused problems because of the Library of Porthalagos. The library holds all the records of our universe because the purpose of a library is to solve the problems of a planet. People from all star systems, whenever they have a problem, they go through the portal into the Library of Porthalagos, and there's a cataloging system. Everything is on crystal slides and crystal containers. And they would go to the catalog, they'd find out what other planet had that same problem and how they solved it. Then they take that back to their planet and use the same solution. So they don't keep making mistakes like we do on Earth.
With sincere thanks to Diane Robbins, we look forward to finding out more from the people of Hollow Earth in the next episode of this series. For more information on Diane Robbins' insightful work, please visit dianerobbins.com.
Vegan, becoming a saint.
Cherished viewers, thank you for your wonderful company. Join us again on Saturday, June 4th for part 2 of Inner Earth and Nature Kingdoms interview with Diane Robbins. Coming up next is The Unseen Dangers of Noise Pollution here on Supreme Master Television. May our life be adorned by the glory and wonder of the divine.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/UL.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
我们的节目提供多种语言，请看 suprememastertv.com/schedule。
There are stations, and the electromagnetic train hovers about maybe 2 or 3 inches above the railroad track, and therefore can attain speeds up to 3,000 miles an hour. So we can take you from here to the other side of the planet in just a few hours.
Inner Earth and Nature Kingdoms interview with Diane Robbins, part 2 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Vegans, true God's children.
Express your gratitude in Indonesian by putting your palms together and saying Terima kasih. Noble viewers, I am Lono. The faithful people of Papua thank heaven for the selfless acts of charity that brighten our world and send you sincere well wishes. Welcome to Inner Earth and Nature Kingdoms. Interview with Diane Robbins, part 2 of 2. For over 25 years, well-known American telepathic communicator and author Diane Robbins has been in contact with the civilizations of Inner Earth and Earth's elemental and nature kingdoms. Her transmissions connect us to beings in advanced civilizations, whale and dolphin peoples, the trees, the crystals, and the elementals. In the book Telos, Diane mentions how the Hollow Earth people live harmoniously with animal people.
They feed the tigers and the animals with organic food. It's all vegetarian. The animals are on a vegetarian diet, and therefore there's no fear in the lions or the tigers. The fear is in the meat that they're fed on, that they eat on the surface. So you can go down and play with a tiger, and they're as gentle as a cat.
Diane speaks about daily life in Telos.
There are moving sidewalks inside Telos. There's waterfalls inside Telos to keep the air clean and provide oxygen. And they have what is called the tube, T-U-B-E. It's like our subways. It's an electromagnetic train that's inside a tube, a cylinder. And the tube is about a few miles beneath the surface of the earth, maybe 5 miles or so. And it connects every subterranean city. It connects every main city on the surface. There are stations. And the electromagnetic train hovers about maybe 2 or 3 inches above the railroad track, and therefore can attain speeds up to 3,000 miles an hour. So it can take you from here to the other side of the planet in just a few hours. And so that's how they travel to other subterranean cities. There are over 200 subterranean cities, 1 to 5 miles beneath the Earth's surface, not just Telos inside Mount Shasta. They're very evolved. They've gained their immortality because they live in peace. And they travel back and forth just like we travel back and forth on the surface. They have hydroponic gardens. They all are in service to the city of Telos. There's no money. Everybody has a job. Every single person, even children, caring for the city. It's a joyous way of working. They're working outdoors. They're doing the same things we do. They have arts and crafts, but everything is not on a monetary basis. Everybody just contributes, and then they have what's called a distribution center. That's where all the food and clothing are taken once they're made in the city. Every day you go to the distribution center, you get your day's meals. You need clothing, you get a piece of clothing. And no money is exchanged because everybody is working in return for the city of Telos. People assign their own hours. You can work any hours you want to, and you only work 4 hours a day. So you have so much time to be out in nature and to be on a spiritual path, to connect with nature. That's the key, because all of the nature kingdom is connected with each other. The trees, the mountains, the flowers, they're all telepathically connected to each other. The whole nature kingdom knows everything that's about to happen on the earth before we, the people, know, because we are disconnected. We're the only ones disconnected from the rest of life on the surface.
Vegan side effect: less worrying about infection.
Caring viewers, let's pause to reflect on our connection with nature and the divine. We'll be right back here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Inner Earth and Nature Kingdoms, interview with Diane Robbins, part 2 of 2. In 2008, Diane received a special message from the Tree Kingdom.
In my book, The Tree Talk, it tells how the trees are all connected. Within 2 minutes, they know everything that's going to happen on the other side of the planet or wherever it's going to happen. And they tell each other. So all of nature knows. The animals know, the flowers, the trees, but we don't know because we disconnected. And the leaves on trees are recording plates. When you walk by a tree, it reads your thoughts. It knows what you're thinking, and it records your thoughts. It records what you're saying. The trees are living libraries. They ask us to talk to them, to stop, to touch them, to put our arms around them, to start connecting with them again. Once we're connected to the trees, we'll be connected to all life.
Diane speaks about the Golden Age.
So, we are being told now that within 5 to 7 years of each golden age, the dark forces come in really strongly. This is about the 7th year of this golden age. It started in 2012. Now, the dark forces have come with the coronavirus, the lockdowns, vaccinations, everything to keep us in fear, to stop this 7th golden age. All the things going on in the United States government, those are the dark forces trying to stop the 7th golden age. But I will tell you something. They will not succeed this time. That's what the Ascended Masters have told us. Within a few years, they will be all removed from this planet. All the dark forces creating all the problems in the governments, in all areas, will be removed within 2 to 3 years, maybe 4. All the Ascended Masters are here. All the angels. We have so much help. But people have to call on the angels. The angels cannot help us unless we call on them out loud. They don't read our thoughts. The Ascended Masters can read our thoughts, and we have to keep asking for help. They can only come if we call us. But they're all here, and they're all ready. You've heard of the all-seeing eye of God, Cyclopeia. The all-seeing eye of God has already determined this 7th golden age is going to succeed, and we are going to ascend. And those people who have turned to the dark will be removed from the planet. That's the ultimatum from the Ascended Masters.
In the book Messages from the Crystal Kingdom, we learn about Peter Pan and the Elemental Kingdom.
It's in my book called The Crystal Kingdom, with poems from the elementals. The elementals are the elves, the hobbits, the dwarfs, the gnomes, the unicorns. They once lived on the continent of Pan in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And Peter Pan and Wendy are real. Peter is king of the elemental kingdom, and Wendy is queen. And when people on the surface started warring millions of years ago, Peter went to the spiritual hierarchy of our planet and asked that the continent of Pan be lowered down into Middle Earth to protect the elemental kingdom. So the continent of Pan was once in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Our spiritual hierarchy lowered it down to inside Middle Earth and came in great starships and carried all the elementals down into Middle Earth. And that's where they are now. And when there's peace on the planet, the continent will be brought up back into the middle of the Pacific Ocean, along with the elemental kingdom. Atlantis and Lemuria will be brought back up to where they were, and there'll be peace, and we'll all gain our immortality, and we will all ascend. That is what the all-seeing eye of God has seen. It's a certainty. It will happen, and it's going to start happening within the next 2 to 3 to 4 years. We're going to see tremendous changes.
Diane Robbins also shares messages from the Cetacean Kingdom.
About the whales and dolphins. I'm sure many of your viewers would have seen the Free Willy movies. Willy was an orca whale, and he was ambassador to the Cetacean Kingdom. That's why he came here. And the whales and dolphins have full consciousness. And the songs of the humpback whales support our biosphere. And the whales and dolphins are longing to talk to the people on Earth. And they ask that we talk to them no matter where we are, whether we're on land or near an ocean. They can hear us, and they talk to us all the time. And they are asking to connect with us also. So in essence, all kingdoms of the earth are asking to connect with us. They're asking us to talk to them and to connect with them.
Our thankfulness to Diane Robbins for relaying these important messages. We pray that humanity hears the calls of our peaceful co-inhabitants and embraces all beings in love. For more information on Diane Robbins' insightful work, please visit dianerobbins.com.
It doesn't matter if it's the practitioners or general Buddhist followers. If we strive to practice the teachings, love lives, and keep vegan diet, we will have great merit and will be liberated from the sufferings of the three realms. The Venerable Acharya Sonam Dorje Rinpoche, vegan.
Saintly viewers, thank you for your wonderful company. Coming up next is Wonderful Benefits of Citrus Fruits, right after noteworthy news, here on Supreme Master Television. May your days be filled with compassion and harmony.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/UL